device. Remove the SIM tray. We'll begin disassembly by heating around the edges of the back cover to soften the adhesive underneath. Once we've sufficiently heated around the edges, we'll insert an iSesamo in between the back cover and the midframe and pry it free from the device. We'll remove the 13 small Phillips screws from around the midframe. Once we have all the screws removed, we'll gently pry at the seam between the LCD and the midframe. We'll insert a plastic opening tool, run it along the side, and along the top. There are 2 clips on the top. Once you release them, the LCD assembly will simply lift out of the midframe. We'll use a nylon spudger to disconnect the battery. Disconnect the ear speaker flex. Disconnect the LCD connection. Disconnect the 2 small button connections on the bottom of the motherboard. Disconnect the home button. We'll pry the microphone from the display assembly. And we'll lift the motherboard up. And then we will disconnect the dock port connection from the bottom of the motherboard. We'll insert a nylon spudger in between the display assembly and the battery. We'll run it along both edges to free it from the adhesive holding it in place. Gently pry the battery and then lift it free from the back of the LCD. We'll remove the 2 small Phillips screws from the dock port flex. And then we'll use our tweezers to gently pry the flex from the display assembly. Use the tweezers to pry the small metal cover. Then we'll pry the proximity sensor, and the ear speaker. This is all one flex cable. Gently pry out the ear speaker and lift it all out as one unit. Then pry out the vibrate motor. Get the tweezer under the pads, then pry it free from the display assembly. We'll reinstall the vibrate motor into the display assembly. Simply line it up and re-adhere it. Then we'll insert the ear speaker and proximity sensor. Reseat the proximity sensor and press the ear speaker into place. We'll then replace the small metal cover over the proximity sensor. Reinstall the dock port flex. And then reinstall the two small Phillips screws that hold it to the display assembly. We'll remove the backing to the new adhesive we laid down. And we'll re-adhere the battery to the display assembly. We'll reconnect the dock port connection to the underside of the motherboard. Make sure the front-facing camera is reseated in place. Re-adhere the microphone. Insert the bottom of the display assembly into the midframe first, and then we'll use a plastic opening tool to gently pry upwards on the midframe so that we can clip the display assembly back into it. We'll now replace all 13 screws